Welcome back to Crime Chats. Tiny room, microphone, endless crimes.
Yeah.
Today, we are going to continue our deep dive on Theodore Bundy, and Lisa will lead us on this trick of his crime journey. We know Bundy, but there are some startling facts that maybe you don't know the details, and today Lisa will lead us down the next bit of it. We thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. And if you would be so kind as to like and follow us and maybe share this stream. And yeah, let's
subscribe and talk to us in the chat because we love to communicate with participation.
We love talking to people and getting comments. It's really exciting for us to see that people are chatting. So so we love that. Before we get started, I wanted to tell you about our sponsor, No Stone Unturned Investigations. I honestly couldn't be more thrilled about this. Full disclosure, the owner is my father-in-law. Hi, John. Honestly, though, I'd be telling you guys about him even if he wasn't my father-in-law. He is incredibly intelligent, resourceful, and one of those people who genuinely loves solving problems and helping others. He truly cares about everyone he helps, and he's got a warmth about him that just puts everyone at ease. As a licensed private investigator serving Texas and New Mexico, he helps people locate missing individuals, reconnect with birth parents, identify heirs, conduct background and social media investigations, and much, much more. He even helps attorneys with litigation support and process serving. Basically, he does it all, and he does it all well. If you've ever found yourself searching for answers and hitting a dead end, that's the person I'd call. He will help you solve mysteries with discretion and integrity, and he will leave no stone unturned. Visit nsupi.com or call 512-766-7794. I'm actually, so I tried to find a better word all morning. I was like, I can't say that I'm excited. I can't say that I'm excited because it's not exciting. He's not an exciting man. This is not an exciting topic. But I just couldn't find another word, so damn it, I'm going to say it. I'm excited about this episode because of just, a lot happens. And it's a lot of, wait, what the fuck? So that's what I'm excited about, is just to bring you guys on this journey today. Because it is a ride.
Right. I know, topical parts of this stretch, but I'm hoping to learn some new details, so...
Alright, so last time, we saw Ted Bundy's luck finally run out in the early morning hours of August 16th, 1975, when this random, God put this cop on this road, for this purpose, because he took a wrong turn and noticed a creepy vehicle outside of a house that he knew. He saved at least one of those girls' lives that morning, so, it was just divine intervention for sure.
Absolutely, I agree.
So, I apologize beforehand, I guess. This episode might be a little bit confusing just because there's, his first arrest in Utah, but then they don't discover until after his first arrest that he was committing violent crimes before his arrest. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of back and forth here. So just letting you know that. Right now, in the timeline, Bundy's finally been arrested. He was outside of the house where the two girls were, but then when the cop looked in his car, they found the passenger seat missing, and so they linked him to Carol DeRanch. So he's been arrested for that. He's arrested, he's charged, he's sentenced for that. And then it isn't until later that he is connected to anything in Colorado. But let's rewind the clock now. At this time, he is still studying the law in Utah Law School, but he goes on winter breaks at his law school, and where does he go? He likes to go to Colorado. Likes to travel to Colorado.
Okay.
Well, he's on vacation. So,
everybody needs a little break.
Yeah, everyone needs a little break. But not everybody has the activities that Bundy has when he goes on vacation.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I can deduce, but I'd love to hear the details.
so he first arrives in Snowmass Village, Colorado at the beginning of January 1975. So, he'd still be on winter break at that point, I guess. He focuses his efforts, or he likes to go on vacation, because right now we're just focusing on it's vacation. He likes to go on vacation to these affluent ski resort communities and regional transit corridors. Populations that would make tracing potential missing people difficult.
Really? I was just thinking if he's going where it's affluent, whatever. That's like hoity-toity. Maybe he makes himself feel better.
Yeah.
Or like up and coming kind of thing. But I would think those populations would be more.
Maybe because it's like maybe it's more remote, but also like people go on vacations. So people are on vacation.
Okay, so like transient kind of. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like when they're.
I can see that.
When they're gone, people are like, oh yeah, they're on vacation. No.
I can see that.
He kind of is up to his old tricks, unfortunately. So Bundy's MO in Colorado mirrored his tactics in other places. He used charm, good looks, and his elaborate ruses, such as faking an injury with crutches to lure victims. He often rendered his victims unconscious and transported them to remote mountain locations. Once they're
he learned his lesson
incapacitated,
at Lake Sammamish, yeah.
So by March 1976, the clean-cut lawsuit in Mossad has officially cracked. So Bundy was convicted of the aggravated kidnapping of Carol DeRanche, so sentenced to serve 1 to 15 years in the Utah State Prison. But as Bundy began his sentence, a multi-state coalition of investigators was already closing in on a far more grim reality. So they're really starting to connect dots here. And this breakthrough came from the very car Bundy had used to hunt his victims. So after FBI technicians impounded and dismantled his 68 tan Volkswagen Beetle, they discovered hair samples that were microscopically indistinguishable from Karen Campbell. So Karen Campbell is his first Colorado victim. So on January 12th, 1975, Bundy claimed his first confirmed Colorado victim. She's 23. She was a registered nurse. She was from Dearborn, Michigan. Campbell disappeared from the Wildwood Inn while walking down a brief corridor from the hotel lobby to retrieve a magazine from her room. She had a fiance, Dr. Gudowski, and his 2 children remained waiting by the inn's distinctive sunken fireplace, unaware that Campbell had been intercepted. Her body was discovered several weeks later in a nearby snowbank, showing signs of severe blunt force trauma. Armed with his forensic link, Colorado authorities formally charged Bundy with Campbell's murder in October of 1976.
You might talk about this in a minute, but so she's there with her fiance.
Mm-hmm.
And she disappears.
Yeah, she goes back.
To get her magazine.
Them to the lobby. She goes back to get a magazine, and I guess
doesn't make it back.
On the way back to I guess when they say corridor, I guess like it was outside, but it was like a something. Path,
yeah.
Leading
so
back.
Fiance is like, oh, that's just her. She's
always
wandering off.
Yeah.
I mean, or does he do something? Do they?
They couldn't find her, so.
Okay,
hey, she's an
a missing
adult.
Person.
She's she's an adult. She's probably just like I don't know.
I hate that, by the way. People, there are these people go missing, kind of thing. Well, if they're 18 or older, you're allowed to just go missing. You're allowed to walk off the face of the earth if you want to, and that's true. If I want to tell nobody anything about me going somewhere, I can do that.
Yeah.
And that's a really mean thing to do to people that you love and love you. But you can do that. And what really sucks is that ruins things for real missing people. Because if you're an adult and you go actual missing by a bad person, well, you're allowed to just go missing.
Yeah.
That sucks.
The thing that really gets me too is like, and I don't know if this is really how it works in real life, but I've seen in like shows and stuff is they don't automatically trust like the family. Like if the family is like, she wouldn't just do
like
that.
Her.
She would disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Then the cops are like, well, she's an adult.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care. I'm telling you, I know this person much better than you do, Mr. Cop.
This is not her normal.
Like, she does not do this. This does not happen. She tells somebody, right?
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. It's cops though. I feel like there's a theme here where like the cops, bless their hearts.
There are wonderful cops.
From Texas. So you know what I'm saying?
Bless their hearts. I've never actually used that way, but, and it seemed appropriate because we were in Texas.
I don't know. I just feel like, and again, I'm in a similar demographic, I guess, as a teacher. You get the bad rep from the whole group when a couple of bad eggs happen, and of course there are terrible cops, of course there are terrible teachers, but I think the majority of them are good and do their job well.
Yeah.
But the only ones we typically hear about are the ones who screw up royally, right? Or that don't listen. It's like, well, the book says we got to go by the book, but this is that, and then, but we have to wait 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever, that kind of nonsense. Or, well, she's an adult, she can go, and all that kind of nonsense. But I wish more officers, more investigators would listen to people.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think maybe those rules are in place because you have manipulative people too.
Yeah.
Like maybe the husband did kill her and he's just saying this isn't like her. I get that I don't know. It's a tough situation. But
yeah, it's hard. I don't know.
Thoughts.
In November of 1976, there was an Aspen summit. So by the end of it was kind of a meeting of investigators from several states. So they got together and they were like, "What the fuck is happening? We need to figure this out." So after sharing credit card data and travel patterns, authorities were certain Bundy was responsible for all the Colorado murders that had occurred, and I will get to the rest of them.
I was like, there's only been one, right?
Yeah. I just wanted to cover the first one because he was on vacation, but they hadn't linked him to other ones yet, and now that they had the summit, now they're like, because there's like receipts in his car, and there's like kind of they know that he was there during the times of these other things, so
they're connecting.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to follow them in this timeline. So now that we know there's connections. What other murders, you ask? Well, let me tell you. So the verified Colorado murders, so we heard about Karen Campbell. So Bundy struck again March 15th, 1975. So January 12th was the first one. And then this is March.
Oh, I'm thinking November, and I'm like, going back. Okay,
yeah.
I see.
Okay. Sorry, we're going back to 1975 now, when he's going on vacation and committing murders while he's on break. Right. Okay. I'm there. So March 1975, he abducts 26-year-old Julie Cunningham. She was a sporting goods employee and part-time ski instructor in Vail, Colorado. Cunningham spoke with her mother by telephone before leaving her apartment in the Apollo Park neighborhood, dressed in a brown suede jacket, blue jeans, a ski cap, and boots. Intending to meet her roommate at a local tavern, Bundy intercepted her using his standard crotch and ski boot decoy, like, "Oh God, I'm hurt, please help." So after knocking her unconscious, he drove her 80 miles west to a remote high desert area north of Rifle, Colorado, where he raped and strangled her. Despite Bundy providing a detailed description of her shallow grave on the eve of his execution, her remains were never found. They were never recovered because he didn't have his Taylor Mountain anymore. So
too far away.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Well, in wildlife, unfortunately,
animals do
animal things, and that's unfortunate. That's what a monster.
The more I really think about it, the more just creeped out I get by this man. Call me Will, he was kind of a pussy, like we talked about last time. Like he, oh my God, this girl from college broke my heart, but he was also like a real monster, a genuine, scary, nightmare fuel monster who did these monstrous things. Okay, his reasons may have been really juvenile, like he wanted to get back at this
revenge,
college girl, but he was terrifying. But
instead of going to her and I mean, this is an awful thing to say, but instead of killing her and ending it, ending his retribution, I guess. I don't know. I can't imagine it because thank the Lord I'm not him and anything like him. But
so this actually leads me to I've been reading a book. I'm obsessed. Mm-hmm. I'm reading Mindhunter, which is the story of how the BAU came to be in the FBI, and I can't put this book down. Lily will ask me, "Mommy, why are you still reading? Stop reading." And I'm like, "No." I I can't stop reading this book. It's so interesting. Talking about why didn't he just go to, in the book mentions Ed Kemper, which I don't know.
I know that name.
So his problem was he hated his mom because his mom, like, was abusive to him. He had all this aggression towards his mom.
Right.
And he was trying to get the courage up to kill his mom, but until he was, so
he was practicing,
it was just,
maybe.
Yeah. So, but once his mom was dead, like, it was over. It was like he didn't want to. He was done. He actually turned himself in. He called the cops on himself because, after he killed his mom, it was done. His fantasy was over.
No purpose. Yeah. Huh. I haven't thought about him in a long time.
He was murdering these co-eds as his. I guess he was sort of like getting the courage up, or like practicing or whatever, until his act that he actually wanted to do, which was kill his mom. So he couldn't just like go straight to killing his mom, because that was like too big of a too big of a thing, too much of a,
he couldn't confront his demons immediately,
head on. I guess I saw they made a movie that was just sort of like based on Ed Kemper. Really well done, but yeah, it was
what's it called?
It was creepy. I don't remember.
I'd watch that.
I don't remember, but yeah, it was pretty good. It was on Amazon. Okay, so that was Julie Cunningham in March. So in April of 1975, so the very next month, on April 6th, 1975, so not even a full month later, Bundy targeted 24-year-old Denise Oliverson in Grand Junction. So Oliverson left her residence at 1619 Lavetta Street on a bicycle to ride her bike to her parents' house. The following day, search parties discovered her bicycle and shoes abandoned near the railroad tracks beneath the 5th Street Bridge. Bundy later confessed to murdering Oliverson and throwing her remains into a river outside Grand Junction, preventing their recovery. So, again, they weren't able to get her remains back. So,
which just adds insult to injury for the families,
So that's the 3 confirmed Colorado murders, all in 1975. But again, they weren't really able to connect the dots until they found Miss Campbell's hair in his car when they got him for Carol's Ranch.
Right, okay.
And then they looked through his vehicle and they found this hair, and they were like, oh shit, like,
he's connected.
He's connected. Okay. And they were like, okay, this is a big statewide deal. Finally, we're all on board. This guy's a monster. Like, let's fucking go get him.
I'm curious, because again, this is just like Law and Order, Criminal Minds brain here in the TV shows, but I wonder if the police department precinct, what do you call that, like they're so, this is our bureau and don't march all over, this is our case.
So actually in the book I'm reading, Mindhunter, there's a lot of that where like cops see the FBI and they're like, oh, here they come to like take over the case, like, so there's a lot of that. There's a lot of like, this happened to us, this is us, we're the police, like, you can't just come in here.
So my thought on that is, first of all, I don't understand that. Fair, it's fine. If you want to take some work off my load, go for it. But second of all, I wonder when the national, because I know that there's like a national fingerprinting, whatever, you put the bad guy's fingerprints in the system and then they pop up everywhere, right? Whenever something else happens, and then like, oh, we can connect these crimes.
Is it VICAP or is it something else?
That sounds familiar. VICAP.
Clearly, I'm not a professional.
If you know, put it in there. So I'm wondering if that was around, that would have been real handy. If it wasn't around, I wonder when it happened, like when it became a thing.
Yeah.
Because things like this, international crimes, like interstate, I guess, when they cross state lines, they can't get away with stuff, which I think might have been, like in Bundy's case, might have been his reason, which makes sense because Washington, he was like, oh, I'm getting found out, so he moved to Utah.
Yeah, I think in the mid-70s it wasn't, I mean, obviously it wasn't as advanced as today, but I mean, also, like, I think things were still kind of developing there.
I can see that.
And like, it wasn't until like the late 70s that this whole like behavioral analysis unit, science unit became a thing anyway. So like serial killers weren't really called that yet, and they weren't really like considered that, and so they're like, it wasn't like they were like, oh, we have a serial killer. Like, it was just like, we have all these murders, and then we have something that connects him to this one.
Mm-hmm.
But then it kind of piecemealed, like, okay, well, he did this one, and then maybe he did this one, and then maybe after this
similar,
one.
yeah. Okay.
So I think it was just like a slower process of like everybody going. It's easy like looking at it now, being like, hello police, like come on,
yeah.
But like at the time, yeah. So
I can see that.
they really were doing everything they could. It's just
fine.
It's just
Fine.
we have to be, we have to give them some grace.
Okay.
I guess. Beyond these confirmed homicides, circumstantial evidence linked Bundy to other unresolved cold cases in Colorado from the same period. So in April of 1975, the body of Susie Cooley, a student at Nederland High School, was recovered from Coal Creek Canyon. And in August of 1975, 24-year-old Shelley Robertson of Golden was found deceased in an abandoned mine shaft near Berthand Pass. Bundy never admitted to these.
Okay.
But they believe that they were him.
Okay.
But he never admitted. They never were able to know for sure. But they think that he did those two. So in both cases, gas station receipts recovered from Bundy's vehicle established his presence in the immediate vicinity at the time of these experiences, but formal charges were never filed due to the lack of physical evidence. So it was all circumstantial kind of stuff. So they didn't have anything really to pin them on him. They didn't have anything real, anything tangible, like hair or whatever.
Or
anything.
blood or whatever, yeah.
They just, they had receipts. They're like, oh, he was near here, whatever. But he's such a terrible guy, he probably did those two. But, we're not going to be able to be like, yeah, he definitely did that.
And he never fessed up to it.
Yeah. So now they're like, okay, well, shit, we're linking him to all these murders in Colorado. Let's get him to Colorado so that he can be in trouble here because he committed murders here, right? But he's in Utah, so they have to extradite him.
Right.
At first, Bundy resists this. Has any criminal would be like, "What do you mean?" Right? I didn't do that. Yeah, but he eventually stops resisting, and so they extradite him to Colorado. In January of 1977, he was moved from the Utah State Prison to Colorado to stand trial. And this would be for the murders that they pinned on him.
Okay. And we have CODIS was the thing that we were
CODIS. Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. So what is VICAP then? Oh, I guess maybe that's
victim?
where you can. Yeah, victim probably because I
don't know. VICAP. I want to look it up now.
Maybe they can. Yeah.
If you know, please tell us.
I'm like, because VICAP is a thing too. I think VICAP is they look up missing people, maybe. Just to see if there's a report that they're missing.
It is not victims.
Oh.
It stands for Violent Criminal Apprehension Program.
Oh, okay.
It is a unit and national database managed by the FBI designed to help law enforcement agencies track, analyze, and link serial, sexual, and violent crimes across jurisdictions. So yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay. So they didn't have that back then.
So CODIS is the fingerprint.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Okay. But yeah, they wouldn't have had that back then, so they couldn't immediately be like, aha!
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah. So Bundy arrived in the snowy heights of the Rockies and was booked into the Garfield County Jail in Glenwood Springs. He awaited trial at the historic Pitkin County Courthouse in Aspen. Bundy was not a typical defendant. He was described as a man who possessed a unique charm and an uncanny ability to manipulate the legal system. Yeah,
of course,
he was a chameleon, and he was Bundy, and Throughout the court proceedings prior to 1978, Bundy was known for taunting the police and baiting the media, clearly reveling in the attention. He was, he loved attention. He wanted to defend himself.
Yep.
So he acted as his own defense attorney, which, don't do that. I mean, it's Bundy, so, whatever. Bundy's gonna do what Bundy does. But for people, if you ever commit a crime, don't be a pro se. Don't do it. It's not, you don't know all the things that you need to know. And it just ends up being chaos.
Well, and if you look at, all the notorious criminals who decide to defend themselves in court, they're all narcissists. They're all guilty.
I can do it.
Right.
I can defend myself. I'm so good.
I want to tell my own story, and I'm going to tell you just how innocent I am, and you're not. It only backfires on you.
A lot of times, attorneys won't even want their own defendants on the stand because they're like, "You're gonna fuck it up."
Yep.
So, so let's not.
And the problem, I think, is human nature is when we get accused of doing something wrong, we want to defend ourselves, right? We want to do that. Like, why did you eat that? You weren't supposed to eat that before dinner. I didn't. It's immediate. You want to be like, I'm sorry, I didn't. You know,
do it. Love me.
right?
Sorry.
Or what happened? Anything. You know, it's immediate. You want to defend yourself. Mm-hmm. In court is not the time to do that.
Yeah, just don't. Anyway, don't commit a crime. But if you must commit a crime and you get caught for it, and then you're in prison, don't defend yourself.
Don't.
And it's funny. So I worked for a law firm. So every time we got a new case and there was a pro se plaintiff or something, we're like, oh geez, because like they're not gonna really know what they're doing. They're gonna like they would send these like their own pleadings in the mail, and it was just like handwritten and it was just crazy
so
looking,
unprofessional,
and it was just like we were just like, so we would actually we weren't dealing with violent crimes, we were dealing with like car accidents, mm-hmm. but just you can definitely tell when somebody is pro se and they have no idea what they're doing. Anyway, so his involvement in his own defense was extensive. So sources highlight that he frequently used sophisticated legal tactics to delay proceedings and manipulate the outcome of his cases. So this hands-on approach to his defense and his ability to manipulate the legal system remained a hallmark of his trials until his eventual execution. He was uniquely positioned for this because I guess he thought that he was like, not only am I a narcissist, but I've been to law school.
That's right.
I did law school. I know the law. Okay, I can do it. He had attended law school right at the University of Utah, so prior to his arrest, an example of this calculation manipulation during his 1977 trial in Aspen for the murder of Karen Campbell, he insisted on representing himself specifically so the judge would remove his shackles and handcuffs, granting greater mobility in the courtroom, and this is where we get to the oh shit number one.
Okay. So,
and again, I have to wonder about the intelligence of law enforcement. Like, I love cops, but, so this guy, he's gonna stand trial for murder. And he's trying to manipulate everybody, but he says that he wants to defend himself. Right. So what do you do? Well, he's acting as his own attorney. Let's take off his shackles and his cuffs and let him walk freely through this courthouse so that he can go to the library and like look up research stuff and whatever. So he's just yeah. So the criminal was just allowed to just walk by himself, and he wasn't really monitored that closely anymore because he's acting as his own defense attorney, and the dude needs to go to the library and do research, right?
At jail?
Yeah. On June 7th, 1977, he had, he was always looking for ways to, right, he's manipulative, he's looking for ways to game the system and stuff, right? So he was a pure opportunist, right? So he was at the Pitkin County Courthouse in Aspen for his preliminary hearing regarding the murder of Karen Campbell. Because he was acting as his own attorney, Bundy had convinced the judge to remove his shackles and handcuffs, arguing they hindered his ability to represent himself. Because I can't, people aren't going to take me seriously if I'm in handcuffs. Right? So during a court recess, he was granted access to the second floor law library to conduct research, of course, by himself. So while hidden from view of the guards by a large bookcase, Bundy opened a window that was unlocked and leapt to the ground. Because, why lock windows in a courthouse?
Why wasn't he being supervised?
Because he was so good at manipulating that he was able to convince this judge that he didn't need it. It's my wrists hurt, and it's gonna make flipping the pages hard, and I need to do research,
But you've been arrested. You need to be constantly monitored.
I need space to conduct research. I can't have eyes on me. It's stressful. There's too much pressure. I need to go. Where? Yeah, I need to go. I need to be by myself. Shackle free.
Okay, go to yourself.
I need freedom. Oh, hey, there's a window. Oh, look, it's unlocked. Oh my god. This must be my lucky day. So he fucking jumps out Sorry, I know your mom's in the chat. He leapt out of the window because I'm Bundy and I'm amazing and they can't keep me, you know?
Okay.
So
the Aspen leap. Okay.
Yes, so he leapt out of the window. He quickly shed his jacket to change his appearance and disappeared into the mountains as police scrambled to set up roadblocks. His freedom lasted 6 days. While holding near the summit of Aspen Mountain, he broke into a cabin to steal food and supplies. Eventually, for reasons that remain unclear, he stole a car and drove back toward Aspen, where he was spotted and recaptured.
Idiot.
Yeah, idiot. Like, why go back? Why go back? You were out.
Narcissist. He's like, I won't get caught. I'm Bundy.
Yeah, like the same reason he thought he could go to Lake Sammamish in broad daylight. Right? So he was like, oh, I'll just, they won't catch me. I'm in a different car.
I have a jacket on.
I took my jacket off. Yeah, like, anyway. So he was recaptured in Aspen, so that's good, right? But then, December 30th, 1977 comes along. So following his first escape, Bundy was moved to the jail in Glenwood Springs. So if the first escape was impulsive, the second was a masterpiece of meticulous planning. So I guess at this time he was like, this time, guys, I mean business. Okay? I'm doing it. I'm going to plan this. You know, like when he went back from broad daylight, like Sammamish to nighttime, like he was like, maybe I should use more of my brain for this next one. Over several months, Bundy received help from the outside. His girlfriend Carol Ann Boone surreptitiously brought him $500 in cash. He also managed to acquire a hacksaw and a detailed floor plan of the jail.
He managed to acquire a hacksaw.
I don't know how. I don't know.
Great.
I don't know. But
Great.
Hacksaw. I can never read the word hacksaw now without thinking of Bundy because of I don't know if you saw that Netflix movie about him where it was oh my god, Zac Efron.
Yeah, that was good.
It was good,
it was really good. Yeah.
But then at the end when she's like, how did you, and he wrote hacksaw on the picture, and
I don't remember. It's been a long time since I watched it. I kind of want to watch it again.
I can't say the word hacksaw now without ugh. So anyway, so he's able to acquire this hacksaw while he's in jail, and he got $500 in cash from this woman, Carol Ann Boone, who is head over heels for him because he's a manipulative jerkhead. He made to execute his plan, he also underwent a shocking physical transformation. So he stopped eating until he had dropped 35 pounds. Making his frame thin enough to squeeze through a small opening. Using the hacksaw, he cut a hole in the ceiling of his cell near the bars. So he's able to shimmy himself up. And so on the night of December 30th, while much of the jail staff was away for Christmas vacation, Bundy made his move. He piled books on his bed and climbed through the ceiling, slipped into the jailer's apartment to steal civilian clothes, and simply walked out the front door.
I have questions.
I mean, same, but yeah.
Why is there a jailer's apartment on premises?
I don't know.
Maybe want to live.
I mean, I guess because if they need round the clock surveillance or whatever, around the clock a guard there, they need someplace for that person to sleep. I guess.
I don't like that. I don't like it. Erase it from history. No. Second question: how did he climb? I guess if he stacked books.
Yeah, he stacked books on his bed, and his bed, the hacksaw, he made a circular, a hole in the ceiling by the bars, and then with the books, he hoisted himself up.
Okay.
And because he's thinner, he could fit and crawl through the whatever, and then he went into the jailer's apartment, I guess from, I'm assuming a vent because he was in the ceiling, so maybe vent
and he had the floor plan, so he knew where it was.
And he got the clothes. And then he just walked out the front door. Which I'm is nobody sitting at the front? Is there not a reception area?
Or what about his cellmate? Did he have a private cell? Why didn't his cellmate go with him?
I don't know. He might have been by himself. Because again, he was defending himself, so maybe
okay, so he escapes.
So he escapes for a second time.
Okay.
It wasn't until noon the next day, so 17 whole hours later, the guards realized the man in the bed was actually a pile of books. This is we have another bumbling Ron situation, okay?
So he made a book person?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, like, this is, like, something out of a cartoon. Like, you have the bumbling cop who is like, oh, he's sleeping. He's just a sleepy boy. And then 17 whole legal hours later,
that person hasn't moved in a while.
Are you still sleeping? And then, like, oh my god, it's books. Like, oh my god, what do we do?
Prison is supposed to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You have a strict regimen.
Yep.
You're up at, 6 o'clock. You don't get to sleep in. I don't care who you are. What is wrong with people?
I don't know. 17 hours is a long time.
It's a long time.
To not realize it, that gives him 17 hours from the time that he actually escaped. So now he's out
anywhere
for 17 hours before they even know.
And he has $500, right? You said
$500 in cash.
Which is a lot.
And a hacksaw. He still has a hacksaw.
I don't know how much you could do with that after cutting through. I don't know. But yeah, he's got money.
Steal somebody at him.
Could, yeah.
He could steal someone's car. I don't know.
He could.
Yeah. Anyway, it wasn't until like 17. It just boggles the mind how. But by that time, Bundy was long gone, obviously, 17 hours. So he hitchhiked to Vail, caught a bus to Denver, and boarded a flight to Chicago.
Yep.
From there, he traveled through Ann Arbor and Atlanta before finally settling in Tallahassee, Florida.
Oh boy, okay.
The second escape, unfortunately, would prove fatal for others.
Yep.
Spoiler alert. This man just couldn't stay caught. It's just insane. It is insane. Especially since, okay, so you have this guy, you know that he's a manipulator, you know he's a murderer, right? So you
trust nothing out of his mouth.
Exactly. You should be able to tell or think in your head, this guy's gonna try to manipulate me. I'm not gonna let that happen.
Mm-hmm. I have been in really bad relationships where I have been manipulated quite badly. And it's a weird situation. He wasn't a murderer, right? I hope. Yeah, close. But I feel like you know when you're being manipulated. You know.
You get, I don't know.
It's obvious.
You get some sort of a feeling at least.
And this guy was in prison for what he did by manipulation.
But, like, they weren't just normal people. These were law enforcement professionals. Like,
who dealt with that kind of crap all the time.
Exactly. They should, I mean, like...
How much higher can our voices get?
Ted Bundy would be able to manipulate the shit out of me, but, like, I'm not a cop, and I haven't gone to school for this, and I haven't trained in exactly how to deal with manipulative people, like, Yeah. But again, this goes back to Mindhunter. At this point, they're still not really, like, they don't really care about... the psychology of the criminal yet. They don't really, they're not using that as like pattern recognition for whatever. They're just looking at evidence and crime and what he did versus like who he is, where he came from, all that stuff.
And that's hard for me to not know, right? Like I know that now.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to get that out of my head and go try to think like them. I don't know. That's hard. Because we know now psychology, psychological things and things like that. So
yeah, this book is fascinating. Yeah, around this time, 1975, like they were just starting to maybe kind of. I mean, and they still saw it as witchcraft. Like the guy in the book.
Really.
The John Douglas, he was actually the guy that started it all. He said, like, yeah, we, like, people kind of looked at that kind of stuff, like the soft sciences is like witchcraft. Like, it's not really. It's not concrete, like it's not something that I can like, it's not physical evidence, so like why does it matter kind of thing. But then over time, John Douglas was able to prove to all of these police
patterns are important.
Like this is important, how he grew up is important, who he is important. Like, he also was able to use that to like instruct people on how to interrogate people, like based on how they act, like interrogate them differently. Sometimes it's not being heavy-handed and like yelling isn't always the play. Sometimes you want to try to be their friend first.
Know your perp kind of thing.
Yeah. So.
And when was that all happening? Like what kind of decade?
70s and then into 80s. Yeah.
Right around when Bundy was getting
Yeah. So it's funny. Just an aside. We were talking about so Ted Bundy, VW Beetle, and the John Douglas, he also drove a VW Beetle because a lot of people did, and so he in his book he was like, I didn't realize that VW Beetles were the serial killer car of choice, because all these people drove the same kind of car. I think Ed Kemper had that too.
Probably.
And it was just so how I related it back to Bundy was, okay, he had a car that was similar to a lot of other cars, but he needed to be different. So that's why he got the color that wasn't very common.
Slightly different from the bronze, right? He had the tan, the light tan.
The car was bronze, right? Yeah. Stupid.
Cops, get your back straight.
You could have caught him and like smashed. Anyway, sorry. I was just... So I really liked researching this episode because it shows you so much more of like who he was as a manipulative individual. He was able to manipulate the judge into letting him walk free. And then jump out of a window.
So the part about him being unshackled in court because he's defending himself, that is pretty normal. If you're a pro se, defender or defense. Because let me get my words right, I think it causes undue discrimination toward the defendant if he's shackled or in prison garb.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to be fair and just in a courtroom.
Yeah, in a courtroom, yes.
Right. Unshackled, and he's allowed to wear street clothes or whatever, a suit, whatever he wants while he's defending himself.
I can't wait until we get to, that's in the next episode, is his, in court when he's on trial and stuff and all those things. I'm excited for that, too, because
it's going to be a jam-packed episode. It's our final one next week.
Yeah.
Chi Omega, and then his final arrest. And trial and
him being his own attorney. Just some of those videos, I'm like,
they're chilling.
Yeah,
because he's still trying to charm his way out of what he did, and he's on death row, and he's still like, smirking and all this. Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that'll be next week when we finish up our deep dive into Bundy. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.